Howdy, we are Team 17, and the problem we wanted to solve with our Flip Norm project is that many students are dehydrated. Dehydration can have a lot of negative effects on health, and with all of the water fountains around campus, we wanted to see if we could encourage more people to use them.
During our research, we found that according to a study by ASU, while 96% of students are aware of the benefits of staying hydrated, 75% still remain chronically dehydrated. So we're hoping that our lights and signs will encourage more students to stay hydrated.
So as a team, we went out to the MSC during lunchtime because we thought there would be a bunch of foot traffic there as people are coming in and out of classes and getting their lunches. So here are our observations of a water fountain without any intervention. So as you can see, there are not that many people going to the water fountain. So we figured that this is the perfect place to have our Flip Norm.
We went out and placed signs and lights under the MSC fountain. So we had one big sign saying 75% of people are dehydrated, and we had another sign basically asking a survey question: was water wet? And we had one sign saying yes, and another sign saying no, and then we had a bunch of markers that people could use in order to say what they thought of it. And this could just do a quick tally mark in order to place their vote for whether or not they thought the water was wet. So originally we planned on putting these on the wall, but unfortunately the MSC staff said that we cannot do that, so we had to put them on the floor instead.
There are three main components to our Flip Norm. One being the blue LED strips, the other the poster with the quote that 75% of people are dehydrated, and an interactive voting component. So, well, the purposes of the lights was to attract people's attentions from far away, because the MSC has a very simple beigey color scheme, and well, the water fountain sort of just blends in with the rest of the wall.
So, by adding these lights, we at least got people to look in the general direction of the water fountain. So we actually had these multicolor LEDs that could go into any color we wanted, but we decided to go with the color blue. Why? Because when people think blue, they think water. That's a general common association that many people have. We also decided to have a big sign that said that 75% of people are dehydrated in order to remind them that they could be dehydrated. Because a lot of people think that, hey, I don't feel thirsty right now, so I'm good. Or maybe now I just forget about drinking water. But in reality, they could indeed still be thirsty and just completely forget about it, or just not feel it because their body's so used to not drinking. But in reality, that's not a good thing. And so we need to remind people that yes, you need water, you need to drink it, you may be dehydrated. And by having these colors, the big signs and everything, basically telling people, hey, you could be dehydrated right now, go drink up. You need to drink your water right now.
Lastly, we used the interactive voting component with the commonly debated topic of is water wet to give people something to think about and plant the idea of drinking in people's heads. This also allowed us to see how many people were willing to stop walking and interact with our installation.
As you will see, the most common interaction we observed was people just turning their heads and looking at our lights and signs. We think that if we had put the signs above the water fountains, we would have gotten more people drinking, since their eyes would have gone up instead of down to the floor. But like Amish said, we were not allowed to hang anything on the walls. The second most common interaction was people voting. We got a total of 24 votes, but unfortunately most of the people who voted did not also drink water. The insight we got from this is that people have the time to stop and drink water, but for some reason they don't.
Upon reflection, we think that the turnout may have increased more of the usage of plastic bottles, as we think that many people are turned off by the quality of College Station water and COVID risks when using the public water fountains. We concluded that the usage of signs to educate members did indeed cause improvement in hydration levels.
As you could see, there was indeed a vast improvement over the previous take. Many more people are going to drink water out of the fountains and we're interacting with our signs, which means that indeed our mission was a success.
Alright, so now let's take a look at our affinity diagram. So let's first take a look at our look-only audience. So we're thinking that maybe Big Water could be buying them out with water bottles. Maybe the fact that they could be too lazy. Maybe they could be too busy. Or maybe the statistics sign just kind of made them say, oh, let me take a look at that sign. Let me see what's happening. And then maybe think to themselves, hey, wait a minute, water could be a problem. Now, they could also just be hydrated already. Maybe they went, had a nice meal at the MSC. Maybe they went and drank a nice large Coke, a lemonade, some kind of Sprite, some other kind of beverage, and already hydrated. Though we do think that is probably unlikely. Maybe the fact that the lights were obnoxiously bright, maybe that just deterred people from going near it. They looked at it and said, hey, that's too bright. I shouldn't be going there. Let me just keep walking. It was a pretty cool sign, but the lights are too bright. Just not make my day. Or maybe they went already and drank that water previously, because many of these students have been here for a couple of years, couple of months, couple of weeks, and they've already seen what the water has to offer them, and they said, nah, I don't want to drink that. This water doesn't taste so good. Maybe let me go to a different fountain. Maybe let me go across the hall and go to the MSC food court. Maybe I can just grab it and drink a water there. Maybe I can go to the Panda Express. Maybe I can go to Revs. Why should I be drinking at this particular fountain when I know that this fountain is no good? So now let's take a look at our voting audience, people who just voted. So these people, they probably stepped over it and said, hey, there's something I can vote on. Let me go vote. Or maybe they also said, hey, this water again doesn't taste so good. I'm just going to vote because I want people to see my opinion. But no, I don't want to drink the water. The water is just not going to be good. Or maybe people think, hey, the water is not wet. Why are we having this conversation? I don't even want to have anything to do with this. Or again, maybe they already drank water. There are plenty of other options within the whole place in which they could be drinking water. Now there's also the drinking audience. So then they probably looked, saw the signs, and decided to go for it. Maybe they were just thirsty. Maybe the colorful lights attracted them to the water. Maybe they liked the taste of College Station water. It's a pretty distinct taste. It's a pretty acquired taste. Maybe they just liked it. And then maybe they said, oh, let me go fill up my water bottle. And of course, there's always a denial of science. And that caused them to go and drink. So now there's also a bunch of people who decide to have no interaction at all. Now we already went through all the different examples of why they could not be interacting, but let's just go through them one more time. So maybe they said, hey, look, the cup filler was broken, no point even looking at it. Maybe they were just busy talking to their friends. Maybe they're on their phone. Maybe listening to music. Maybe they could be just trying to go to the bathroom. And maybe just trying to have extra effort to interact with the poster. And maybe they just couldn't even read English at all. And yeah, those goes our reasons, and that was our affinity diagram.